Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Crash Bandicoot 4 playthrough. We are wrapping up the snacks dimension with the
rap.
second mandatory Cortex level. Not the last Cortex level. We're going to play as him one more time after this. But yeah, this is the end of the snacks dimension and the level that leads into the final world of the game. The Crate Escape.
Ha.
Wait, is there going to be like 6,000 boxes in this level?
No, because the crates
thankfully.
escaped. Oh, so there's 0 boxes.
Yeah, there's
in
none.
This level.
There's none. You can just go from the start to the end, no problem at all.
Great, but you missed one box. Got away.
Crate, but you missed one crate.
Okay, so this isn't entirely a Cortex level. It is, in fact, a level that ends on a Crash and Coco sequence.
Oh my god, the worst bit of the game.
It's actually a more, well, apart from the fact that part of the game is actually really tricky to platform through, it's actually, like, narratively speaking, the most effective example in this game of what they were trying to do with the timelines. And it's not even actually a timeline. So,
But it's also shit, though.
Weird.
That's the problem.
I actually really like the sequence at the end of this level, but...
Have you tried getting the insanely perfect relic on it? Then be quiet.
No. To be fair, that's true of all the best parts of this game.
Yeah. Although I will argue...
I mean, there's enjoying it casually.
I mean, that's
there's
the thing.
enjoying it with their balls
you can
in a vice.
enjoy bits and pieces of this game. Oh, I love this shot, by the way. Yeah, it looks great.
Oh,
But yeah,
yes.
like, you
Yeah,
can
they're
enjoy
big
every element of this game when looking at it through a non-completionist lens, but even with this ending segment when you're platforming, the fact is, the physics are fucked, the direction of where you're jumping is all over the place, the height of your jump is unclear, like, it's difficult for completely arbitrary reasons. It's only because you're on a fucking you're jumping on cargo that's falling out of a plane. And it's just impossible to tell what the hell you're supposed to do with the controls, even if you're trying to play it normally. I don't think it's a very good bit of the game, period. Like, it's just annoying.
I think it would have been better if we didn't have to worry about boxes, to be honest.
Yeah, if it was just focusing on the platforms and everything, it wouldn't be as bad. But it's the fact that they've mixed everything in together. It's just, ugh, no. Oh, that was good.
I mean, it makes for a cool climactic bit of a story-related platforming, a nice, short, tense moment. But then
dare I say it's an Uncharted 3
there
reference.
are boxes.
Because that happens. It happens in Uncharted 3, and it like Naughty Dog, Crash Bandicoot, not Uncharted, maybe.
Huh.
I mean, they
Maybe.
reference Uncharted already at the ending credits.
I have such a poor memory for Uncharted 3 in particular. It's kind of like my least favorite.
I don't think it's not my least. My first one's my least favorite by far, but like.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah,
I
love
can
the
understand
second one.
that.
The second one's great.
It's pretty. Like, one is pretty rough compared to the others, but at the same time, I kind of just don't like how they designed 3. Like, their entire mentality for designing Uncharted 3 was.
Oh, I don't know much about it.
But
Which Uncharted is considered to be the
Probably
best
4,
one?
actually.
generally
2.
speaking?
Oh, I was gonna say I hear more praises of 2 than any other one.
well, yeah, I suppose a lot of people do hold 2 in high regard, but I mean,
I guess a lot of
Maybe
people
they
like
do.
it, so maybe.
but I mean, like, compared to 4, it's so
Oh,
basic.
yeah, but I think you got to look at. Yeah, but that's like saying Crash 1 or Crash 3 is basic compared to this one, but I still think Crash 3 is a better game.
Yeah, but, you know, maybe I don't give 2 enough credit because I played the Tomb Raider reboot before I played Uncharted
yeah, that's a
2,
step
and it's
down.
just like, the Tomb Raider reboot is kind of like Uncharted 2,
yeah,
but
you're
better.
right there, yeah.
So,
Clipped it.
oh, damn it. I got winged. Ow. Okay. So, like, I love this level's aesthetic. I really do. It's got some of the most interesting set pieces in the future levels. But, goddamn, this level makes me, like, just tense up like nothing else. This part just...
Yeah, this is another thing where you need to be able to memorize, because the patterns aren't random. They're not random. So you just need to memorize on which jump there's, because one of them has 1, one of them has 2, one of them has 3, and one of them has 4, and you just need to remember which one it is and then count ahead of time.
The last one has 3, but they come a bit slower than the other one that has 3.
There's one that comes like late, yeah.
How are you supposed to speedrun this? Like, for the time trial?
Pure memorization and hope you got the best possible cycle.
Partly best possible cycle. Whether or not you have an Aku Aku to sacrifice, I can't remember. But you either tank through it with Aku Aku, or you see how many have appeared later on in that corridor, and then you kind of time your head dashing around that. So like you'd be here and you'd have a look down the corridor and go, okay, the 4 one has just passed number 4, so that means I'm safe to go at this point when I get to that platform eventually. It's a lot of...
Now, thankfully,
yeah, exactly.
You don't. Thankfully, when you die after collecting a hidden gem, you keep the hidden gem, so you don't need to bother with this exclamation point box again.
Oh, okay.
There are no actual boxes tied to this exclamation point box. Just the arrow crate that gets you the hidden gem.
Yeah, that's always been true of since Crash 2. Basically, once you collect the gem, it's yours. That's why people like get when they're just starting off Crash 2, they get the blue gem and then immediately go back and fall in the pit so they can go get the box gem.
I mean, what you'll notice as well is that when every jump you take on this corridor, like, it takes a while for the next cycle of rail carts to start. So you usually, it's just a case of being confident. So you just get to the next platform, and if there's nothing coming, just go for it, because the chances are you're wasting milliseconds waiting for the next cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So you said, like, you use an Aku Aku to, like, invincibility frame your way through. When you get hit in this game, like, how much knockback is there?
Nothing.
On a scale from none to Castlevania?
Nothing.
None?
No,
Wow.
you go through the thing.
Wow,
Crash Bandicoot never really did much in terms of knockback to begin with. Like, sometimes, like, you would be knocked up, like you would bounce upward as if you stomped on a Goomba, but you would never really be knocked back unless it was specifically an enemy that had a bouncy property to their body.
Yeah. By the way, that platform that you just jumped off of, that is another one where if you touch the underside of it, you die. Like it doesn't matter where it is. If you touch the underside where it is right now, you just die instantly. It is the worst.
That's obnoxious.
Yeah, not very good. So it's the same as the metal bouncing crates, but
damn it.
I'd say arguably more annoying because it's an obstacle. It's just part of the game. It's not even like, oh, fast bouncing metal crate. It's a slow moving elevator thing. Like,
I don't get why they couldn't just program in standard crushing death. Why do they have to make the bottom of a platform into a death zone?
Yeah. So what you do on the time trial here is that you'd actually dash to the first platform as they're closing, so that you could then dash to the first, dash to the second, and then dash up to here. But you got to do it without touching the bottom end of that thing that you're standing on. So, yeah.
Yikes.
That sounds tricky.
It is tricky.
It's only tricky because of the jank hitbox.
And again, the annoying thing is that if I had not saved the time trials until last, I probably wouldn't mind them as much as I do. But it's the fact that, like, because I would say that the relics are easier to get than the insanely perfect relics, because whenever you fuck up, you just fucking go to the beginning of the level again immediately and try again immediately. You don't have to go through any fucking loading screens. You don't have to go through any scouring through the level all over again. You don't have to go for any optional boxes. You just go, you run from the beginning to the end. If you fuck up, you start again, run from the beginning to the end. So you just keep trying until you get it. But the insanely perfect relics don't allow you to do that.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, I might have said this earlier in the playthrough, I forget. I still prefer having the insanely perfect relics as an optional challenge, if nothing else.
Yeah, I don't mind the idea. Yeah, it's like, it's Crash 1 all over again. I get it.
It's kind of like, you know, to me, the insanely perfect relic is a platinum relic for someone who doesn't like speedrunning, which means it's something that I would actually consider going for myself.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm a meticulous player. I'm not a speedrunner. I prefer to slowly and steadily make my way through a level and take my satisfaction from doing that, but good. So the insanely perfect relic is exactly my kind of challenge. Unfortunately, like, the prospect of actually doing that as a requirement for finishing the game,
Yeah, that's the problem. They just went overboard. That's all. By the way, John, you said ages ago that platinuming Crash 3 was on your bucket list. Have you done it yet?
I have not.
No, I was thinking it would be a good charity
because
thing.
I was good. I was gonna say I was just gonna make it a live stream stuff. Yeah, basically, because I was thinking of starting from the first game and just working my way up from there. Basically, your video, but it's all live streams.
That's good. I mean, the fact that you were able to accidentally get a few platinums on Crash 3 without even trying, like the fact that you can do that says that you'll be able to do it. It's completely possible.
Yeah. Well, I love Crash 3. Like, I legitimately love blowing through a lot of Crash 3 levels fast, especially the Arabian levels and
the jet ski levels are fun to blaze through as well. But yeah. It's, he mentioned me. He said you cad. Cortex, you Caddicarus.
It's time for an epic set piece.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's not.
Wait, why did he just be a dick?
Because he's Cortex.
Like, I don't get
because he took the time travel mask.
Yeah.
But
What do you think? What do you think he's going to do with a time travel mask?
I know, but I'm just like, why does he have to be a dick?
Just look at
Because he's
there's
evil.
the death there.
He's a bad guy.
So I died so many times.
Yeah, it's fucking hard.
Oh, and you can't like go back and get those boxes if you miss them.
No.
I think they will
No.
eventually cycle back through. I'm not sure though.
I don't think you can last long enough for it to properly loop back.
Yeah,
though.
I don't know.
But here's the thing: like you are trying to progress. You are going forward through all this. It's not you just keeping up with the platforms, but you are trying to move fast enough so you can get to the safety platform.
What makes this tricky is that the platforms are moving backwards.
Yeah.
So every time you land on them, you're being dragged back with them. Whenever you jump,
Yeah.
you're rushing forward at your normal speed,
Yeah.
and everything else rushes back behind you. Jesus.
Yes. Oh my god,
yeah.
that was close.
Right there.
Yeah, it's like every single time you, and then there's also the thing of if you jump up in the air, you speed the platforms up, but if you hold forward while jumping forward, you speed them up even more. So there's multiple speeds fighting with each other.
You gotta really get a feel for how your jumping speed works in relation to those platforming, in relation to those moving platforms, and that takes some serious trial and error.
Yeah.
But your costume for getting enough gems on this level is Willy the Wombat.
Yes, it is.
So,
yes.
That's
Who I
something.
never used because he just looks too uncanny. I just don't like it.
Yeah, but still, it's a cool extra.
Yeah, it is a cool extra. What it makes me think though is if that costume looks like that in this game, what would the PS1 model have looked like?
So, this is Cortex's brilliant scheme. Go back to Crash Bandicoot 1 before Crash turned into Crash and make him not turn into Crash.
Yeah, convince his older self, sorry, that he's the older self
younger. He'd be
convincing
younger.
his younger self. Yes.
Well, his younger self might actually be older than his current self, considering
But
how...
wasn't his original plan to
travel
make a
works.
bunch of crashes as his army or something?
Yes,
Yes.
but then the first-
he was
yeah.
actually his plan was to make Crash's general, which is what you get for getting all the flashback tape platinum relics. You get the general Crash and General Coco costumes.
Yes.
Yeah, because he's already done it before with a couple of
Yeah.
animals. There's Koala Kong,
And they all
Pinstripe.
worked, but Crash didn't.
Yeah, but they need
You know
a
what's
leader.
really cool about the Cortex world, though? 2 of the 3 levels are in the underground ooze caverns underneath the castle, which was a cut concept
From
for Crash
1. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all we have for that in the actual game file is a placeholder level with some assets in it that weren't used elsewhere. So we don't have a level that we can just splice back into the Insane trilogy.
There's a part of me that wish that one day they would just. I feel that like I love the idea that they brought in Stormy Ascent for the
yeah,
Insane
they should have done
trilogy.
it with all of them.
A part of me wish they went the extra mile and brought in the other, like the mountain level or the waterfall climb. I think it
would've been
was
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
with like PS4 PC graphics, it would have been great.
Yeah,
But like this isn't exactly the level that we were going to get in Crash 1, I don't think. I think that level had some crystal stuff going on, which I think was where Cortex landed at the beginning of Crash 2. But it's the same base concept, and it's cool that they brought this area back, because the fact that we as fans know that area was supposed to exist it gives Crash and Coco a place to be during all of this, where they can't interfere with the actual game's events. So it's sort of pulling double duty as a story explanation for why they don't run into their other selves, and just a cool concept for us on a meta level.
Yeah, I mean, I do love the idea of past Cortex and current Cortex arguing with each other and all that shit. I love that idea. Do you know what I think would have been the cherry on top? Is if when you see the yellow hologram of the original Cortex, if his hair was a perfectly straight disc like it is in the PS1 games.
Yeah.
Like,
I also would have liked it. They never would have done it for obvious reasons, but I would have loved it if original Cortex was also voiced by Clancy Brown.
Why was
Clancy Brown,
why
yeah.
was there a hitbox there?
I don't know. Yeah, that's
I
kind of
don't
unfair.
know. That is also one of my favorite thing about this stage is the opening with Cortex. How he gives them like all these very unscrupulous descriptions and labels him as a
bona fide 10. That became a
10.
running gag on my streams because I redid this level a million times trying to get the flashback tape.
Well,
so did I.
that and the angular fossa.
Oh, the triangular fossa. Yes, that was on Cortex Castle.
Okay,
and then Embryo going ding dong, there's someone
Damn
at the
it.
doorbell.
Okay, so these electric bugs, fuck them.
The roaches.
Hang on. Wait. Okay, I know you can't go back. I was about to tell you to go back, but you can't because this is pre-recorded. At the beginning of the level, there was a sign at the bottom of the stage with a bandicoot with a no sign through it. Who put that there? It was a no.
Yeah, isn't this supposedly a Bandicoot liking?
Yeah.
And yeah,
He wants to make Crash Bandicoot his general. So why would he have a no Bandicoot sign written in his own lab?
Maybe he doesn't want his Bandicoot general down here in the toxic sewers.
Well,
Maybe.
remember.
Yeah, there it is.
Hold on a second.
On the bottom left. Bottom left.
I mean, the process that we interrupt is Crash becoming, I guess, the general of the army. But he was already an experiment before. Like I think that's the entire point of the flashback tapes.
Yeah, maybe he was just an idiot before, and yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he's just roaming around. It's like, don't go here. Like, don't go fuck that box right there.
Yeah,
by
don't
the
go
way. I
fuck
missed
that box. You'll get splinters.
Yeah, I know. Splinters. All
Okay.
that box right there, I missed.
You missed the chance to get that mask, didn't you?
Well, no. The
didn't.
platform comes back, so we could easily just drop down and get
you
it.
gonna do it?
Yeah, just drop down and get it.
Oh, right. I thought
okay.
it locked you into a 2D
So
axis.
you are a
Okay,
coward.
right, that's fine.
I was curious. Like, is this even possible without?
So,
the mask?
anyone want to take a guess as to where this level's annoying hidden box is?
I mean, hidden gem.
Well, I mean, you got one of them earlier.
One of them, but where's the other one?
Yeah. If it's the one I'm thinking about,
I know where it is because I get the box gem for this level.
I mean, the one that I'm thinking
okay.
of is also where the hidden gem is, which I thought was
Yep,
really.
that's the one.
Oh well, I thought I actually.
Oh wait, is it? It was way in the background there. I saw, right? Like, was that the one you were talking
I
about? Or
don't know.
I like how we just all have different answers for
Which
this though
hidden
too,
box are we
because there are
talking about?
multiple like hidden boxes. Because I can think of this one and the one underneath the platform that just fuck in general. Because
Oh yeah, with the Aku Aku crate, right before as the
Yeah, the Aku Aku
platform
mask.
drops. Yeah, I found that
Yeah.
by accident because I just
Damn
didn't
it.
jump off in time, so
Yeah.
I ran on top of it and bounced off of it.
So, question. I know that, like, we're talking about Crash right now, but do you expect to see Crash 5 first, or do you think that they'll go into Spyro before
Spyro
that?
first.
Because
Probably Spyro. yeah.
okay. Yeah.
The thing is, like,
And-
and much like how Wrath of Cortex is kind of considered a bit of a stain on the next generation sequel from PS1 to PS2, so is Enter the Dragonfly. If not, Enter the Dragonfly is considered worse. So,
I think Enter the Dragonfly, a lot of Spyro fans consider that to be awful,
Yes.
whereas Wrath of Cortex is just
mediocre.
flawed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same, like, vial that many Spyro fans I know.
Oh yeah, no, like
have
Spyro
towards
Enter
it.
the Drag. I don't know if any of you have played it, but it is genuine fucking trash. It's such a bad game.
Yeah, I dabbled in it. It's a terrible
Yeah,
game.
so
looks
it's like,
like it,
so yeah,
yeah.
I think if they're gonna do anything, especially if Toys for Bob did the this game and they did the Reignited trilogy, it would make sense for them to like redo Spyro 4.
And every time you die, you have to remember to get that fucking box again.
You do, yeah. But see, I thought that was a really cool secret because I noticed that there weren't any gears that would stop me from going on up to the top of that gear. So I was like, I'm gonna try it. I think I got it on maybe my when I was going for the box gem, at least I got it on maybe my second try. I didn't do it on.
Yeah, no, that one
Okay,
I think you could find. That one doesn't seem that
One
annoying,
of the
other than the fact that you have to go for it every time you die.
One of the things that you're going to start noticing in these last levels in particular is how far apart the goddamn checkpoints are. I mean,
Well, you keep dying multiple times. It will
oh
convert
yes,
other boxes
eventually
to
they start
checkpoints.
giving you additional pity checkpoints,
Yeah,
but only
they
after
do.
you've gone through the
Yeah.
same long section more than once.
Which is what they do in the old games too.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, they
Yes,
give you pity
they do.
checkpoints in the old
Yep,
crashes?
they do.
Yeah.
Nitro
Whoa,
dodge.
whoa, whoa, how did
Nitro
you do that?
bounce.
That was the frame one.
That,
nitro
that was
bounce
an
we're
easier
talking
nitro
about
dodge than it normally would be because the nitro was actively moving downward.
And then you die to that
Oh,
anyway.
Yeah. Why do you feel the need to
Oh
kill
damn!
everything?
You're all the way back here. Jesus Christ.
You know, it's good that you asked that question exactly there, John, because the next time I pass those rats, I make a move toward them as if I want to kill them, and then I'm like, nah, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah. I've learned to control my bloodthirst finally after 38,000
It
years.
seems like in Crash, though, and unless you need to kill the enemies for whatever reason, it's better off just to ignore them.
If
just in general.
especially if
Yeah.
you're going for the relics, yeah, you don't. Need
Yeah,
to kill them.
the only bonus, like the only active bonus you can ever get for killing an enemy is insubstantial as hell. If you manage to ricochet an enemy into another enemy, you will get a Wumpa fruit for doing so. But,
That's so
Yeah.
inconsequential.
it's so inconsequential and it happens so rarely. So,
You could say the same about like classic Mario games as well. I usually ignore most of the enemies.
well, in classic Mario games, there are areas where you can bounce on enough enemies in a row without touching the ground that you get a 1-up for doing it.
Oh, that's a
and
good
that
point,
can
yeah.
be useful.
Yeah, that's.
I would say that's more of a New Super Mario Brothers kind of thing, at least.
There are
for-
places where you can do it in the older games. But
at least the Koopas, I more like to jump on them because you can then use the shells for stuff like breaking blocks or whatever.
that too, yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Which you
yeah.
can also do by ricocheting the enemies. You can blow up TNT and Nitro, which comes in handy in some places.
Like it's just like, you know, in 3D, it's really, really hard to intentionally ricochet an enemy into a specific target on
Oh yeah, if
purpose.
anyone says that they did it on purpose, they're lying.
I mean, there are some enemies that are lined up perfectly that you'll probably ricochet them into something every time, but it's very rare, and very rarely does it actually do something substantial. Sometimes it's a trap, like that one box in Crash 1 that you accidentally blow up the Cortex token with.
Oh god, I hate that one. Every single time I replay that game, I do that, and then I get to the end of the stage and go, wait a second, where's the Cortex? And then as soon as I do that, I realize, like, I never remember it, but as soon as I finish the level, I then remember it. It's just one of those things, isn't it? It's so annoying.
I'm glad you just you knew exactly what I was talking about. I'm not the only one to have suffered this pain.
Oh yeah, no, but that's the funny thing. It's like I do it, and I completely forget about it whenever I replay the game, and then I make it to the end and go, well, where was the third Cortex token? And as soon as I ask myself that, I then remember. It's not something that ever stays in my head until I do it.
So, the rats with the spiky shields,
Yeah.
they're annoying.
Yes.
But
a good-
here's
a
the
good
thing about
observation.
them. As you get further through the level, they start moving around
They do.
with different
What
shield
the hell
stances
is
and
that
everything.
thing?
I think they're supposed to be the like raw form of Nitro before it gets put into a crate.
Yeah, it's the nitro processing. It's nitro processing. That's what this level is. This is where the nitro crates were being made.
Hands up if you try to jump over that top spinny blade thing there and end up getting clipped by it, because I
Get clipped?
every
Yeah.
time I did that. Because this
Oh, boy.
angle here, you can't make the jump over. It just doesn't work. You have to go around.
There is a point where you start playing, just because, again, like you, I had to replay this level a lot of times just to get the flashback tape. And there are, I think, at least 3 Aku masks
Yeah.
that you can get before reaching it. And you're just, and the one over
Oh,
there,
these
especially,
boxes.
You're trying to play as meticulous as possible just to get Aku invincibility. The only times you'll get it in the game.
This
Wow.
is tedious.
Because there's one section here. I think it's after these boxes where you're jumping through tiny platforms, and you got the little nitro gremlins, and then you got the spinning blades. If you have invincibility, you can
Yeah,
just
yeah,
bypass them all.
absolutely. And that's annoying as well for the time trial because you have the same amount of Aku crates, so you can't afford to sacrifice any of them when you're doing this bit because you need the invincibility to get past all of the spinning blades later on in the level.
Oh.
Also, that would have been way worse if those bouncy crates were original Crash 2 rules where they had 10 bounces. That would have been dreadful.
One of the best things Crash 3 ever
get rid
did
of it.
was just getting reducing
Is
it.
it reduced in the remake version too?
Yes, it is in all of them, and in the first one as well.
It's like 10 bounces is a little much.
Yeah, I remember bringing that up specifically when we started Crash 1 and saying, where John was just like, "Oh, are you gonna bounce on every one of these individually?" And I'm like, "No, it's okay. It's only 5 bounces now."
Yeah.
Yeah, only.
Cool.
I remember
Only
in that commentary in the first episode you referenced me, and I felt very warm about that. Because you're talking about my trick
look
for
where I am now.
Insanity Beach.
Yeah, I didn't actually think to do that until I saw your video. So
It's because as a kid I couldn't do the whole bouncing on each individual thing. I couldn't do it, so I just thought of any other way I could do it without screwing myself over.
damn it.
Oh.
That right there is a visual definition of fear.
Oh man,
Oh my god.
son of a.
Oh, because they start falling if you even step on them. Oh man.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is another
Cortex's
this is another thing where the
infrastructure
electric bugs will they're always
You were about to spin
Yeah,
on
you
that
were.
shit.
yeah, the electric bugs seem to be in different stages of attack every time you retry for a time trial as well. So I think they might be on a global timer as well. But then it doesn't matter if they are or not because not every single attempt of a time trial is gonna be you're not gonna be millisecond perfect. So you are gonna have things at different timings every single time you try anyway. But it's still annoying. So skip it. No,
Especially because it's a game in a 3D
Damn
space.
it.
Yeah, you can skip this by... Yeah, you can jump diagonally and skip that entire
Yeah, I
part.
probably should have tried that.
Do you know what I was just about to do? I was just about to say give the controller here. Which doesn't make sense on multiple levels.
It's all post-recording.
And I'm 3,000 miles away, so I don't even know how that would have worked. Could you?
Yeah,
could
but
you remote
also,
play?
how long
Could
has
you
it been
remote
since
play
you've
from
played
3,000
this?
miles away?
Although that is a nice segue into something we haven't discussed at all yet.
What?
This game's approach to multiplayer.
Oh,
Quote unquote
you mean
multiplayer.
oh shit.
multiplayer circa 1985?
Yeah, exactly. It's like literally passing the controller back and forth the way you would in fucking Mario Brothers 1.
Yeah, it's pretty shit. The only one that I found some enjoyment with was the crate breaking ones, purely because it requires a bit of skill to...
Well, I'm not even talking about the modes. I'm just talking about the multiplayer that you can do whenever the hell you want. Damn it.
Oh, what,
I
during
had
the
'em-
game? Oh, I've never even considered that.
Yeah, you can go into the menu and activate multiplayer in any level that you want. It sort of activates this Super Mario Brothers 1 passing the controller between Mario and Luigi kind of game. It's interesting to have that kind of thing in a modern game, but I imagine someone out there will get some use out of it, like when they've got a little cousin hanging out at their house and they need something to interact with them
Listen,
with.
you don't even need that. You know what you do? You know how you do that? Here, you give them the unplugged controller. You're Aku Aku.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It seems to be the anti little brother mechanic because it's like, hey, I want to play, and it's like, oh, well, there is actually a 2-player mode where you have control, so I have to give it to you now.
But you know what I always used that kind of multiplayer for back in the day? Extra lives. Sonic Spinball has the exact same thing, you see. But every player had their own individual life count. So
That's
if
a
you set
one-hit
it to
kill?
4... Yeah.
Damn,
that's a
so
one-hit
when
kill.
you're invincible, you run straight through it.
And you don't
Damn it.
even
Yeah,
get...
well, because you just ignore
And
hitboxes.
if you... Oh, God. And if you hit the Aku Aku crate before you hit the checkpoint, you don't get an extra hit
Now,
anymore.
here's the thing. On wall running sequences, there is actually a visual cue designed to tell you when to jump. It's when your character starts slipping on the
Yeah, the
wall and the
squeaky
feet start
shoes.
squeaking. Yes. All right. I think we're good. I'm gonna make it.
He's
Yeah,
not
this
going to
means
make
you're not
it.
going to make it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Just gave
Yeah.
the whole story away.
I'm gonna go up here, and I'm gonna slide jump. I'm gonna slide into this
don't
rat.
do it.
Slide. How did that even happen?
He's higher than you, so he's jumped. He technically, as far as the game's concerned, he jumped on top of you.
Literally got the high ground. You've never seen Star Wars? You're such a Star Wars fan. You didn't get the high ground.
In my opinion, I slided into you. Well, in my opinion, you didn't.
The high ground joke, at least I think, is at least one of my favorite edits in Star Wars. So you remember in Episode 6 where the Luke versus Vader fight, and Luke's up on the platform and Vader throws his lightsaber at him to cut down like the walkway and stuff.
Yeah.
It does that scene and then it pauses and it zooms in on Vader's face and then it just flashes back to I have the high ground, throws a lightsaber.
My favorite. My favorite. I mean, I have the high ground is classic, but I always love the whole. In my opinion, the Jedi are evil, and in my opinion, Palpatine is. I love that wording. It's so fucking like preschool.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
Yeah, it's like, in my opinion, the Nazis were bad. It's like,
What's the one thing we immediately poke fun of? Was like only a Sith deals in absolutes. It's like that itself is an absolute Obi-Wan.
in fact, well, no, a Sith only deals in absolutes, which means that I have to kill you. There's no other middle ground. Like,
Listen, I enjoy the prequels, but I'll never say writing's their strong
oh
suit.
no, I'm speaking as
This
someone that
jump
enjoys them.
makes me so nervous.
Oh, you won't touch the top. It's
Well,
fine.
this one, you're just bouncing on. Yeah,
It's
you
a
just
jump.
have to
No,
hold the
you
jump
won't
button
touch the
down.
top. Your hat just clips through the bottom of the goddamn nitro.
Oh.
Nailed it.
You see, this one doesn't look that hard. It just looks like it's designed to stress you out.
It is.
Yeah, kinda.
And then you do this.
Yeah, you fucked up, dude. You should have known by this point that if there's any timing crate that blows up another crate, and then there's a crate you can jump on that's going to destroy the things that you are going to destroy yourself, you just need to run as soon as you activate it.
Yep. Well,
And these deaths in here don't count towards the perfect
Nope.
relic
They
or
do not
what.
Nope.
know.
Okay.
Which is fine, but then if you fail the bonus level multiple times because they can get pretty tricky, and then you fuck up on the final part of the main level, you then have to do the bonus all over again, which may take multiple retries all over again. So it doesn't really help, but it's nice how there's a little bit of leeway.
You madman.
This
Okay.
bit's a bit of a bastard when you're trying to rush through it as well, because this is just a case of you need to get good luck timing. Because you need to get here, activate the stop immediately, jump on, and if you land on it, lucky you. If you don't, then you die. You can't afford to waste any time.
platinum relics are basically like, I can't ever see myself wanting to go for them. I'm sorry.
No. And that's the thing, like in all the other games you didn't have to. It was the golds that you needed to get if you wanted any kind of completion bonus, but now they made it fucking arbitrary to actually do it.
And so, platinum
On top
relics,
of throwing the toys for Bob relics too, like that's
Yeah,
what fucks me
I
up
don't think
about it.
I'm
It's
ever gonna
You
do
want to
them.
keep the spirit of the platinum relic without it actually being
Yeah.
the platinum relic. And
I'm
like, come
convinced
on,
as well that the
guys.
Toys for Bob relics, because they are called Toys for Bob relics, I'm convinced that they have been done by... They're called that because they're done by the devs, right? And I reckon that some of those times are so impossibly faster than what I was able to do. I reckon it's because they're developers of their own game and they know where to glitch through shit and they know where to cut corners and they know where they're safe from hitboxes and shit. So they know shit that no one else does, and I think that's the only reason they are so much ridiculously faster.
they don't know that the coding
Damn it.
on the platform A13
Exactly.
actually is see-through,
Yeah,
so
they
that
don't-
you can
yeah.
jump through it
So-
without getting hurt. No one will beat my speedrun record.
Exactly.
That's
and-
not
and-
what
and
see-through
there are
means.
There are people that have obviously uploaded every single level of them doing it
Damn
with
it.
the Toys for Bob relic, but still, the point is that they're so fast that I reckon Toys for Bob themselves must have broken their own game.
I'm gonna say this part is 35 minutes long for the wrong fucking.
Oh God, is
reasons.
it?
My homie needs to learn how to crossfade.
Ah,
Damn it.
I would like to point out that in my Rayman Origins playthrough on BrainScratch Comms eventually, if I die too many times, I just cut past all of the fails.
Well, I
'Cause
mean, I did do that for certain levels, but it's hard for me.
So-
but apart from
But you
apart
clearly
from
gave up
specific
around this one.
standout areas, it's hard for me to remember where and when I got stuck for too long. So, oh Jesus,
It's not about views. It's
Fuck.
about minutes watched.
fuck?
Well, look, I mean, at the end of the day, right? So this part may be 35 minutes, but I see that as a good thing for two reasons. First of all, it's because I get to spend more time in nice company, which I'm happy with. That's good with me.
That's beautiful.
But also, secondly, if you think this is long, try fucking playing it. You have been cutting and fading. Like, you try playing it. Like, we're watching it is one thing, but like, it just goes to show we're taking the audience into the experience of what it's like to even get to the end of most of these levels, let alone completing them.
By the time you get through Cortex World, the game starts to feel a bit like Super Meat Boy. In places, like, it's just so easy to die repeatedly until you get the...
But the levels in Super Meat Boy are 30 seconds long on the successful attempt.
I was gonna say Super Meat Boy's retries take less than 5
like,
seconds.
and if you die in Meat Boy, you don't have to sit through a 30 to 1 minute long like loading screen.
Yeah.
Imagine doing that like on some of the late levels. Like you take 5 steps forward, and then there's the you die, and
It's
then
like-
you're stuck.
On the one hand, I love the challenge of this game, but on the other hand, I would totally understand it if they never make a Crash game as hard as this one again.